Today, I will be discussing our usability study of the Ansible AWX system. This project was completed by myself, Hilary Severin, along with Yu-Cheng, David Williams, Han Yang, and Yanzi Zhang. For this project, we worked with AWX, a GUI systems configuration tool which runs on top of the Ansible core system. This is a free, open-source tool created by Red Hat Inc. and is used by systems administrators and other managers to schedule and perform server maintenance and to manage human and systems workflows. We conducted 5 different tests to assess the general usability of the AWX system, especially for novice users or for those unfamiliar with Ansible. This was partially out of convenience. Many test participants lacked high-level technical skills, and also because we wanted to assess the accessibility and learnability of AWX, especially for new adopters. We began by interviewing 4 users with moderate technical experience to learn what they like, or don't, about AWX. Next, we compared AWX to several competitors brought to our attention through interviews in order to see how the system measured up. These were Puppet, Chef, Salt, and Fabric. We then surveyed approximately 80 current AWX users to learn what works well, what doesn't, and what they would like to see prioritized moving forward. Based on all of these responses, we independently conducted a heuristic evaluation. Each team member assessed the system on a list of criteria ranging from navigability to error prevention and recovery to basic iconography. This allowed us to personally assess and confirm the issues brought up through surveys and interviews. Finally, we performed a series of usability tests with 5 users. 3 of these were completely new to the system, and so provided a great method of answering our core questions concerning systems learnability. These tests were designed to assess some concerns raised in interviews and surveys, as well as those offered by our contact at Red Hat. Based on the findings of each of these tests, we have drawn up a master list of all of the overlapping results as well as a series of recommendations for AWX moving forward. One of the single most consistent issues we heard throughout our tests was the lack of support documentation present in and for AWX. Our interviewees told us that lack of support was one of the biggest reasons for a move to a competing system, while surveys showed that native AWX documentation is one of the last sources users turn to for help. In our own assessments, we found high levels of page redundancy and hierarchies which simply made navigation difficult. Meanwhile, AWX community support offers live feedback from real users, but this was often reported as being under-supported by Red Hat and generally underutilized. In general, we recommend that greater attention be paid to system-specific documentation. Currently, many users turn to Tower for help, but while similar, the 2 systems are different enough to warrant unique, specific help pages. Secondly, a restructuring of page hierarchies to increase navigability and reduce redundancy is a must. The system should be clear and easy to understand, and minimal effort should be needed to hunt down answers to specific questions. Finally, additional support of community forums could lead to increased use and to a much more personable support experience. Similarly, users, especially those new to the system, frequently expressed confusion when selecting icons. Users could typically infer that the rocket-shaped Run button did what they wanted it to, but most were still unsettled by the amount of guesswork that went into using AWX. In real life, they told us, they would not be comfortable taking those kinds of risks. We believe that a system-wide implementation of tooltips or mouse over text would significantly reduce anxiety, especially among users learning the system. This is common in other designs and was expected by many of our test participants. Taking this further, brief descriptions of pages could be implemented as hover text in the left side pane, streamlining system navigation and generally increasing user efficiency. Which brings us to our next point, page hierarchies. In our own heuristic analysis and in conversation with AWX users, we found that the current structure of the system is designed in such a way as to force users to switch frequently from one high-level page to another, typically only from the left side navigation pane. For tasks like creating users and assigning them to a new group, this becomes particularly cumbersome. The frequent page swapping is slow, confusing, and dramatically increases user anxiety regarding saving their work. We suggest generally restructuring the page hierarchies so that each high-level page could cross-reference or incorporate related subpages. Nesting these related features within the structure will allow for a more seamless navigation and significantly assuage fears over redundancy or lost work. Page hierarchy is not the only concern about saved work, however. Our usability tests showed that users routinely clicked on the Save button multiple times to ensure that their work was saved. Without exception, they were not confident that the button had worked on only one click. Our heuristic evaluation also found that AWX does not have any kind of automatic save feature, nor any warning if users attempt to navigate away from the page without saving their work. Both of these are critical flaws. Users need to be confident that they will not lose their work. Incorporating automatic backups and a more obvious successful save animation will help tremendously in reassuring both new and advanced users that their work is safe. Finally, creating job templates is an essential part of AWX, and many of those jobs need playbooks. While experienced users indicated little difficulty in creating those playbooks, new users reported that it was confusing and unintuitive to once again move between different pages to create both components. While some of this confusion will be solved through the restructured hierarchy, we believe that this particular problem is twofold. The lack of ability to create a playbook from within the standard job template is only half of the issue. Currently, playbooks cannot be created from within AWX. Users are instead forced to resort to external systems in order to design the technical aspects of their playbook. Playbooks can only then be imported through the templates page in AWX. We do not believe that users should be forced to exit the system during use. While this may not pose a problem for experienced users, in order to make AWX accessible to novices, we strongly recommend adding a playbook creator or editor within the system. Furthermore, allowing users to edit playbooks from within the job template page will go a long way to increasing the intuitiveness of the system. Combining all of these features into the same location will dramatically streamline the job creation and execution process and make the system significantly more straightforward to new users. We recognize that our tests primarily concern problems faced by new users. Even in our survey analysis, experienced users reported relatively few of these issues, and generally enjoyed using AWX. Even so, we believe that these recommendations can help to make the system more approachable, both for those new to the field and for those new to Ansible. We believe that this sort of approachability will strengthen AWX and Ansible as competitive systems management tools, and will enhance the experience of both new and current users. Future tests, however, should be considered in order to truly address the needs and concerns of those experienced users, many of whom may have drastically different experiences than those emphasized here. Speaking in more detail with users of competing systems could also be enlightening. Learning what these advanced users would like to see can help prioritize not only the recommendations provided here, but could generate new findings as well. Thank you.